5 seconds.
Here we are, towing the start line to another 5K race. Today's race had one goal and one goal only, and that goal was to beat all the cops. Now let me clarify, this is not a fugitive foot pursuit. This is a 100% legal point A to point B foot race. 45 officers decided to lace up for the race, and then there's me, your friendly neighborhood firefighter. Clearly outnumbered, the odds were not starting off in my favor in this game of cops versus firefighter. But still, I remain determined to give it my best shot. As we get going out the gate, make note of the man in the yellow shirt. This will come into play later on in the race. So how did this race morph into a battle of the badges? Well, turns out it's an annual 5K organized by our local police department to honor fallen officers. Not everyone running is a cop. In fact, most actually aren't. But they did something that was pretty cool and set up a public safety and military division. So anyone in emergency services or military gets grouped together, and it's your chance to go head to head and claim some bragging rights for a whole year. As a firefighter, this was my chance to serve them a dose of their own medicine and crash this cop party. Hypothetically speaking, if this were a foot pursuit, do you think I could give those cops a run for their donuts? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. So here, I'm cruising in 9th place, maintaining a steady 6:30 pace. Not exactly breaking any records here, but enough to keep me in the game. You know, there's an age-old rivalry between us firefighters and those donut slingers. It's like a high school crosstown showdown. But let's face it, we all know who the real crowd favorite is. I mean, would you rather be taking a free ride with a cop back to the police station, or rolling in style in an engine back to the firehouse? Let's be real, they're just a JV team trying to keep up with the varsity squad. Here I am, about to hit the 1 mile mark at 6:31, and just when you thought things couldn't get any hotter, take a look to your left. There you go, folks. That's how you know they just turned on the hot light at Krispy Kreme. Now I'm in 5th place, and talk about a significant gap here. Remember that man in the yellow shirt? Yeah, that's him, way up ahead. And as we start going through some of these twists and turns, I can barely see him off in the distance. It's hard when you start to lose sight of someone up ahead, because whether they're 5 feet out of sight or 500, doubts start to creep in whispering you're out of the race before it's even ended. The other hard part is that there was no way of telling if someone was actually in the public safety and military division or not. So I just had to assume anyone who looked older than 18 could be. Not trying to profile anyone, but this guy in the yellow was the only one still ahead of me who matched that description. And as you can see, I sure had a lot of catching up to do. Crossing the 2 mile mark, coming in with a 6:11 second mile split. Not too shabby for a firefighter outrunning the fuzz, huh? Alright, we're in the last leg of this race, and I still have a decent chunk of ground to cover. I'm definitely starting to feel some fatigue now. By this point, my heart rate has peaked up to 210 beats per minute, so I'm definitely pressing hard on the throttle, but I don't know how much longer I can keep my foot on the gas. The thing with these community 5Ks is, most people don't exactly embrace the concept of negative splits. They start off like they got rockets strapped to their shoes, but as the race goes on, they start to slow down bad. But here's the magic of negative splitting. Sure, you might start off a tad behind at a snail's pace, but later on, when everyone else is beginning to fade, you can hope to still have some fuel left in the tank to kick it up a notch. So as I rounded this corner, I'm now in 3rd place. It was really coming down to all or nothing. The gap had gotten smaller, but if I didn't close soon, I could come up short of winning the division by mere seconds. Closing in on the competition, the gap kept shrinking more and more until I finally made the pass. So here I am, closing in on the finish, and guess what? As I would later find out, the man in the yellow shirt I worked so hard to pass wasn't even in the public safety division. In fact, the closest cop was over 4 minutes behind me. But hey, a good run is a good run, right? I finished 2nd overall, 1st in the public safety division, snagged a new road PR, and only got beat by a middle schooler. All in all, pretty good race. Great running to everyone, even the cops.